All right, so we are live. Hey, hey. Thank y'all for
Hello,
coming.
hello,
I'm
hello.
Steve, K5ATA, and this is,
Smoking ape,
there he is over there,
smoking ape.
call sign K5Ape. And
What's up, guys?
we are here this evening. Glad to be here. Thank y'all for joining us. Get all that obligatory YouTube junk out of the way. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. We do appreciate it. Hit that control or command button and click on Ape's link down in the description if you haven't subbed to Ape. And head on over there and hit him up as well.
But wait till this video's over.
Yeah, that's why I said control or command is boom, second tab that way.
Nice.
But also, there are a couple links down below. If you feel so inclined to help the Padawans, by all means, there's a Patreon link down there. And there's also an Amazon affiliates link where stuff doesn't cost you anything extra, but it kind of gives a few cents for everything you spend for us to keep funding the Padawan Shack, which is getting to be in pretty decent shape. So
Yeah, it's not looking too bad. I saw a couple of pictures.
yeah, not everything in the pictures was Padawan stuff, but I took.
You added some fluff.
I added
a little
some
fluff
fluff.
to it.
Well, we're doing this hybrid schedule right now to kind of keep the Rona down, and so Wednesdays are a virtual day where kids have assignments at home and we're at school to answer their questions and whatnot, and if they email questions in. So I've got a buddy there that he got licensed last year when I was teaching all this stuff to around to the Padawans. He kind of paid attention and he licensed up, and then he upgraded. So he and I tend to play some radio on Wednesdays all day. So
It can't beat that.
no, I could definitely find worse ways to go to work. So all right, it's been a couple weeks because the Turkey Day schedule and whatnot. So
Yeah.
let me scroll through, see who we got. Andy, I'm going to go ahead and say it now. This is the first ever Death Wish coffee on my part. So y'all get to experience it live. I don't think it's going to really phase me, though, because I'm kind of a junkie.
He's been talking about it all day.
I took a picture. I bought it this morning at like 6:45 at Kroger.
He's all like, I took a picture. He took a picture. He posted it on Instagram. He posted on Pictogram.
Insta
was talking about-
Snapchatagram, brother. Get it right.
Yeah, he's been all day with that coffee.
I've been looking forward to this coffee. I did not make it at school because you know what? I was like, no, this is for the
Didn't want to share it.
So, and that's
Didn't
the other
want to
thing.
share it.
I didn't want my buddy to say, hey, give me a cup of that. I mean, he's a friend, but he's not a coffee friend. I mean, you can't, there's certain things you just don't share. So, all right, Andy's in the house. What's up, Andy? Marty, Chuck. What's up, Chuck? From West Virginia. I've talked to a dude or two in West Virginia. Who else we got in here? Izzo. What's up, Iz? Good to see you, man. And Leo Coffee. Good idea. Always a good idea. Jim, thank you for being a member of the channel. That's another feature that's an option that's down there below that I always just kind of forget to mention. So I appreciate that, Jim. Thank you. Don Gibbs is in the house.
Speak of the devil, somebody else just popped in.
And Ray, N9JA. But the reason I was almost late tonight, Ray, and I got to hang out and make some video today. So I was butt hauling to get here in time, and mostly I had to butt haul fast enough I got home in time to let my super slow coffee pot make the death wish.
Well, I got to tell you, I was cussing. I was cussing you because I was like, you better show up for this. I better get my link.
It's I usually send you that link.
I cleaned up
2 hours.
Cleaned
early.
up.
Yeah, I did too. You see, it's nice and shiny. I didn't have time to wax it before tonight, so I apologize for that, y'all. Who else we got that I missed in here? Vega Venturing. Good to have you.
I don't know if I know Vega.
Don't know if I know you, but it's good to know you. So, and so what you been up to, man? It's been a hot minute.
It has, and to be honest with you, I haven't been up to a whole lot. I haven't made any videos. I did print this out the other day. See if I can get this to show up. It is off of Thingiverse. It's a loading coil form. Chuck KK6USY. He wanted one of these, but the print didn't turn out as nice as I wanted to. This thing took 12 hours. So we're playing around with that, trying to get that to work.
So what's wrong with the print? What do you think? I mean, it's just.
Well, it says it's not manifold. Well, I don't even know what that means. And like on this part right here, you might be able to see it's a little messed up. And I don't really know if these ridges, what kind of wire you would put in there. So I gotta do some more investigative work.
You might should have investigated that before letting 12 hours worth of filament feed through there.
Yeah. Well, it's really not that much film in it because it's more the design, the way the motor had to run around. But yeah, still, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was messing with my 3D printer this week, and I thought I had it all fixed. You know, the Bowden tube, or Bowden, however you say it,
Yeah.
the little slippery tube that the filament goes through,
Right.
kept on coming loose, and I thought I had it fixed up, and I got about 23% into a little print, and it came off again. So I just ordered new tubes and everything. They'll be here Friday.
Well, they what do they call moon clips? That those things that you put on there, something like
They're
that.
called crap clips, is what they're called, because they don't ever stay.
Did the new one come with clips or?
I'll tell you Friday, because that's when the Amazon guy says it shall arrive. So
Well, it looks like Ronnie Julian said that he tried printing that and never got it to work.
you know, Ronnie, it would have been funnier if you'd told him he needed to print it, you know, at a higher quality or something to
Right.
let him run 23, 24 hours of
Right.
moon clips are for revolvers.
Yeah, maybe they are.
So, but anywho, so yeah, we're on the hybrid schedule, which means I only see my kids 2 days a week. I see half of them Monday, Tuesday, and the other half on Thursday and Friday, which has significantly slowed down the licensing process. We were hoping to get licensed before Christmas, and you know, they put us completely virtual the week before Thanksgiving, and then obviously we had Thanksgiving off, and now, you know, I've only got them for 2 days, so basically, you know, 2 hours a week. So it's kind of slowing us down a little bit. So I was hoping to have them licensed up before Christmas so they can ask Santa Claus for some radio gear. But
how do you handle the practice test with those guys?
we use AA9PW for that. So, you know, they study the question pools on Ham Study, and but I like the feel, I guess, of AA9PW.com. It feels like the real test. It's formatted out the same way, and
Nice.
so that's kind of where we go. And I kind of build it, you know. So like this week right now, they're taking their practice test on elements T0 through, I think we're through T5 right now.
Now I'm not making fun of anybody because that's out of my character.
Yeah,
But
you would never do that.
Kyle, at trivia night, they had a section that was all questions out of the technician pool, and the esteemed panel of three extras did not win. It was somebody from the audience.
Was it somebody who's actively studying? Because that question pool does change.
Well, I gotta admit, some of those questions, and Kyle obviously cherry picked them, were pretty difficult. You know, like some of the more esoteric stuff, and it's just funny, right? I mean, just when you go back and look at some of that stuff, you're like, well, I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah. So anime, welcome. Hey, that was kind of yeah. You always got to ham harder. So that's what all the coffee's for. In fact, I got 3 varieties of coffee this morning because I wasn't sure which flavor.
You weren't sure which one you were gonna like.
Well, one of them's kind of girly coffee. I mean, it's
Some kind of Italian blend. Didn't it look like
I
you
don't
got an
know. It
Italian blend?
said something about tastes of fruit or some crap like that. That's for Cindy. She'll drink that.
I
with her
figured you'd
creamer.
be all over that.
Yeah, because I like fruity coffee. Not,
Well, you like that fruity beer, don't you? Or did you drink that?
no, I
peach?
like that coffee beer, bro.
I thought you liked that like peach cobbler beer or whatever it is.
No, that's I think that's Jason. I think Jason's the peach cobbler beer.
Well, he gets the dessert flavors.
So, but Bill Crow, they're full virtual this week, but they're still getting to do the Eris Contact Friday. So,
Nice.
yep. Make sure you drop that link to me, and I'll push it out to some folks because that would be cool for some people to see. Because, I'll have some of my Padawans that day. We'll try to watch. So.
Yeah, that reminds me. This coming Monday, the 7th, is the YouTubers Bunch 2-meter night, and that's where a bunch of us are putting up videos featuring 2-meter stuff. So there may be some satellite contacting in some of those videos.
There may be. I heard word on the street says there might be. So
yeah, so it should be pretty exciting stuff.
But Adam, K6ARK, go ahead and tell you, Walter was in my classroom for a while today, and he is actively studying. For those of you who don't know, Adam was Walter's first contact when he came by to visit. a POTA activation we were doing, and so he stopped by my classroom with his dad today, and he's actively studying, and he learned how to solder today
It's
while there
great.
were no kids there. So,
It's great.
of course, there's no telling how much of my solder he burned through watching it make little marbles. But hey, you know,
I need to come to your solder class. I still am not as gifted at it as I should be.
you ought to come, man. These kids, I think it's because, well, one, their eyesight's generally better, and their hands don't shake. I mean, it may be the coffee intake. I don't know, but sometimes, the hands, when you get down to those little bitty things, they kind of shake a little bit. So,
Well, that coffee eats the coating off your nerves, right? So
oh,
that's,
is that
that's
what
when you
it is?
start. That's when you start to get them jumpy hands.
I'm gonna say this is pretty good coffee. I don't know that it's ever too caffeinated though. I didn't bring the bag in here with me. It advertises.
How's it stack up to a hot cup of Sanka?
Well, I've never had a hot cup of Sanka.
It's cold. You drink your
No,
Sanka cold.
I just chew my Sanka. It's it's like dip. You just kind of put it right there and just spit it every now and then.
Yeah, I've got an uncle who's a doctor, and he would eat instant coffee because he never had time to. He was always running around, so he would just get like a can of like Folgers crystals or whatever out of the thing, open it up, and just get a spoon and get like three things in, and then be on his way.
I should try that sometime. Just what, the kids would get a kick out of that. I've been known to like pour coffee into Coke or Coke into coffee just to.
Did you say you made oatmeal with it or something? Like
I
that?
made oatmeal with it once just because, and I may try that. I may just walk in there with a spoon and just take a big old bite out of it, see what they do.
He was talking about taster's choice.
Yeah, now I used to actually keep some Taster's Choice in the house because a lot of recipes call for instant coffee and stuff, and sometimes you put a little instant coffee into your dessert just to make it taste good because sugar is not nearly as good without the coffee taste.
And it looks like K and MRD just switched to Sanka.
So yeah, and Gibbs is saying pour the new grounds over the old ones and run the water through. I've actually been known to do that, but the problem is I fill my coffee filter pretty stinking close to the top anyway. So I almost have to scoop some out to,
He's talking about recycling, right?
yeah, reduce, reuse, recycle. That's, I'm, like right now, for example, I made the pot of this, and between the big coffee cup and the Harry Potter and the Arctic here, it was pretty much out of a pot. So I poured some more water in there. I figure they claim it's strong enough. It should be able to handle some more water coming through. So, what else you been up to? Let's see. We've been, like I said, been messing around with the Padawans. I got a couple of more wire antennas I need to stick up, stuff like that.
So I was telling you about that 705 I picked up last time we spoke, and it was having some problems hearing.
You get that solved?
And I called ICOM support, who was fantastic. They were really, really great to deal with. And we went through everything that I had already tried, and they asked me to send it into a service center. And I ended up calling the the retailer, the vendor that I bought it from, and I kind of said, "Hey, look, this is bullshit." Oh, there we go. And I don't want to pay to send it off, and why don't you guys let me swap it out? They did. They let me swap it out, so I got another one, and it works fantastic. I love it. I'm very happy with it.
So, yep, I played with that 705 a little bit today. See, Jerica, with her working so much in her AP classes, she doesn't keep as close of a watch on her goodies as sometimes she used to. So I'm on occasion able to liberate it, and I had an excuse today. I needed to take it. So, we were, like I said, Ray and I got to make a few little videos and whatnot, and so I wanted to make sure I had the 705 there, and so.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have good weather today, or?
We filmed. Well, it actually wasn't bad, but we ended up filming it inside our clubhouse. So we have we'll call it a building. That's sketchy, but we'll call it a building on the Ole Miss campus, and it's still standing right now, so we'll still claim it as ours.
Okay, so you guys were inside, not outside.
Yeah, we're inside. So
like a boat buildings on the air. Is that what you were
So
doing?
it was something on the air. So, you know, it's a different kind of soda. It's like a shack on the air.
Mm.
But Clark, good to have you, bud. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Clark.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And like I said, I've got the second half of my Padawans tomorrow. So hopefully, I know I've got one dude that was studying like crazy. He was ready to test, or he was determined he was gonna be ready to test before Christmas. Then I got an email from his mom over Thanksgiving break. I mean, homie broke both elbows at one time.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, dude, well, you say, oh my God, but I was like, dude, that's impressive. Because, like, I've broken a lot of arms, and, most of them were mine, but I've broken a bunch of arms, but I have never done the twofer where I broke them both at once.
Well, he's probably going to be in that cast like that or something like that.
Oh, he sent me a picture, or she sent me a picture of him in the emergency room, just, smile on his face, and he's got, like, one arm sticking here, and the other one's, like, I mean,
Well,
he's
it's cool. It's cool when you're getting the cast put on, but like 2 weeks later, when you can't do anything, that's
Well,
where it's going to
yeah, and
suck.
my mom sent the follow up email today saying, just letting everybody know he's trying to do his work, but he can only hold those arms up for so long. And I was like, sucks to be
Yeah.
him. But he's a good dude. He's like building his own like wood cabin out back. He's got some land, and he's like felling the trees and stacking. He's chinking it, the whole thing. I mean, it's like
He's like a Davy Crockett. You know what they call
I
that?
guess he's whatever he is. He's as long as he's willing to put an antenna on the side of it, we're good.
That's awesome.
So, but hopefully he can get back in the swing, because I think he can probably still be ready before Christmas gets here. So I at least want one of them
Nice.
to get a radio for Christmas time. So
So when you have them take the test, you're just going to have them go to ham study / sessions or whatever it is and sign up, or
we're gonna have to figure that one out, because last year the local club was great. We're a Laurel VE affiliated club,
okay.
so I mean it's completely free. They don't have to pay any fees to the VEC, or obviously we don't have fees yet to the FCC yet. So they were able to come in and take it free, which was awesome. And the club was even nice enough. They brought it all to us, so the kids never had to leave campus. They just brought it to me, and we just basically shut the cafeteria off for the first couple periods of the day, and we set up in there, and we just administered a big old huge testing session.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. Like when I went to one time, it was a Laurel, and they didn't want anything, so I gave them $10. Then second time I went, I was going to take some beers, take a 6-pack down there for the boys, but
nobody wants your
probably wouldn't
beer,
have gone
eh?
over. I think they were like you; they wanted to drink bad coffee, but
There is no. Well, no, that's not true. There is bad coffee, because I did drive through the McDonald's once, and they gave me the wrong one, and it had creamer in it, and I almost ruined the truck seats. It was nasty.
yeah, I've never been a coffee drinker. But when I was really young and I got my first real job, my seat was right next to the coffee station. So all day long, I had to smell coffee, because people were coming over and making it and all that. And everybody would come over, and there's that last little bit of coffee in the coffee pot, and people just want to pour it almost all out. They just leave a little drizzle in there so they don't have to make a new pot, and it would burn and start stinking up the joint. I used to have to keep an eye on them folks. If I saw somebody doing that, I'm like, get back over there and make a new pot.
Now, you see, I'd have left it there, because you let that sit there with about half an inch for a good 30 minutes. That's some good strong coffee right there. You can
Make it
drink
like
that.
a syrup.
It is. It's kind of syrupy, and it kind of takes a while to get down your throat. But man, that's some good strong coffee.
Yeah, I don't know. This is industrial coffee. Like it would come in a box that just had coffee on the side of it, and then you get a little gold foil package out that just said coffee on it.
Yeah, that's what they have at school. I don't drink the stuff they make up front at school, because it's the same thing. It's like a single use pack, and
Right.
I've got to put like 3 or 4 of those single use packs in the little thing, just to make enough to, or just to make it strong enough to make it drinkable. I mean, you can hold that stuff up and see through it, and coffee is not meant to be seen through. I mean, it should be
like a
Opaque.
oil slick.
Yes,
You
it
want
should
it to
be
look like a.
opaque.
Yeah.
That's
We
your,
we got one of those Soda Streams for Black Friday.
and
Have you heard
oh,
of
I've
those
heard of it.
things?
I'm just
Well, my old lady, she drinks seltzer water night and day. So for her, it was a good thing. But she's like, they've got all these soda flavors, and they even have like a Mountain Dew clone and a Dr Pepper clone and all that kind of stuff. It's not quite the same, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
would it not be cheaper just to go buy Mountain Dew?
I don't know, but it's convenient. Or I mean, I'll tell you that. Like I can go down there and crank out a liter of Coke, um, soda in like a minute.
Can you make like a carbonated coffee?
I know people at work who have them, and they carbonate their vodka, and they carbonate their wine. Some of these gals at work do that. So I would imagine you could carbonate your coffee.
I've never done it, but I'd try it. That'd be
Yeah,
the To says the Soda Stream is technically cheaper. I guess if you
know.
drink enough that you offset how much was the actual machine itself?
Well, the machine is normally like $89, but we got it for 49. But like the thing where they get you is the can of fizz. You know, like that air, a canister of air that you got to buy. Um,
Can you not
if
just
you don't
blow
have
in
one
it?
of those, you're done for.
Yeah. So Clark has a good question. Did anybody buy any new toys for Black Friday or Cyber Monday? So did you get any goodies other than Soda Stream? You know, the important stuff, radio stuff.
I didn't get. I wouldn't call it radio stuff per se, but I got a Galaxy S7 tablet, the new 2020 tablet, which is pretty cool. And I plan on using it for radio stuffs, but I wouldn't call it radio gear. But I just picked up the 705, and that put me in the poorhouse. So
Yeah.
um,
I'm,
I'm not spending any money on radio anytime.
I think I'm going to pick up an Android tablet because, you know, a certain person I know might have shown me how to send pictures over the 705 today using the D-Star and that
Using the Android tablet.
And
Yeah.
that was pretty stinking cool. I'm like, you know, and those generally aren't too much. What'd you give for that, if you don't mind me being nosy? I don't care if you mind.
I don't mind at all. It was like 525. It's the S7 Plus is the top of the line, and then the S7 is the next one down. Now you can get pretty decent Android tablets for like 250, but my iPad's like 5 years old, so it's been a while since I bought something like that, and I just wanted to get a nice one, so I did spend more than I should on that.
So T.O.'s asking if that was SSTV or some special mode. It's actually using the D-Star stuff. He actually...
Yeah, it's like Yaesu does that too. System Fusion, you can send pictures, but I think the quality on the D-Star is supposedly much better.
That quality was pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, well, you know, when he showed me, it had, you know, you could send it low quality, mid quality, or high quality, or actual size. And he actually sent me. I didn't bring it in. I was racing. I don't think I brought it in from the truck, but he took a picture of a QSL card and shot it from his 705 to, well, Jerica's 705, even though she had never put her call sign in it. So guess whose call sign's in it now?
So you have to have a call sign in order to get it. Then.
No, I don't.
Well, I guess they use D-Star. You have
Yeah.
to have a call sign in.
Yeah,
there, right?
so either way, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was. I was pleased with the quality of it. So it's one of those.
Yeah,
things
I've never messed with D-Star, but you know, hopefully I'll be able to figure it out.
So well, I'd love to have a D-Star repeater in our area. The closest one's in Memphis right now, which I did have to take Stupid. That's my wife's dog, to the emergency vet.
I thought you meant To.
No, I'm not close enough to 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 take him to the vet. But I had to take.
You had to go to the dentist.
Yeah, I had to take Stupid to the vet Saturday, to the emergency vet, because you know we went out and played some POTA at the beginning of Thanksgiving week up in Tennessee, and I guess Stupid ate an acorn. I don't know what she ate. She ate something that just
plugged up the system. Huh?
I'm not sure. I mean, she wouldn't eat anything, and I finally got to a point where I was scared, you know, old girl wasn't gonna make it. So I was like, well. You know, I actually kind of like the dog, even though I call it Stupid. So I was like, well, let's take it up there to the vet. Well, even the vet's like Corona conscious now, because you know I had to sit in the car for 2 hours waiting for them to call me to say I could come in, which worked out well because I had that 5100 in the truck, and there are D-Star repeaters in Memphis, so that was kind of nice. I got to mess around with those a little bit, and I can tell you I really like the sound quality of the D-Star over the DMR. I've never heard a Yaesu Fusion. I've never even been, as far as I know, near a Fusion repeater, but the quality of the D-Star audio versus that squeak.
Well, D-Star and Fusion sound a lot better, but it's also because the radios are better,
Yeah,
right? So
they're not the
when you talk on DMR, you get, and I'm not making fun of anybody, and I love everybody, and everybody's a wonderful person, but
no, they're
you have
not.
a lot of people go out and buy like these $50 to $75 DMR radios that they don't have the mic gain set right, or bit error rate problems and stuff like that. And the quality, when you talk about an ICOM or EAC radio, you're talking a significant quality upgrade. So naturally, just based off of that, forget whatever the superior protocol is. You're going to get much better sound.
Yeah, you're automatic. That's a good point, but yeah, I had a good time messing with it. I mean, I talked to some fellow over across the pond in Callum's part of the world, and
Nice.
it was
Well, like I have a Yaesu radio here that I'll turn it on during the day, and American Link is all day. It's people from all over the globe are on there, which is pretty cool. But like with the new Open Spot threes, you can cross over from DMR to D-Star, and that's really where I was like, well, I wonder, how much people are going to like that, just given the. I mean, again, I really like DMR. I'm a big fan, but there's a lot of people whistling into their radios or blowing into them, and over modulated, or there's a lot of people learning, I guess is the right way to say it.
so. And yeah, you make a good point. When you buy a $50 or $75 radio, the quality of it's kind of like those stinking power poles I bought. It took me forever to man. Those things drove me nuts today.
Well, real power poles, and this will never show up on the bottom right here, is a little teeny A. I don't know if you knew that or not.
So well, no, I knew perfectly well I was buying the knockoffs because I mean they're a fraction of the price, and the budget was running slim when I ordered them. So I was like, well, I need some anyway, and man, it took a minute to get some that would actually click in right. I was like, it was driving me nuts. So and that Izzo brings up a good point. DMR wasn't actually made for hams. It's actually that commercial protocol that so
He's correct.
and it can be a pain in the glutes to program if that's I guess it can be anyway.
Well, I agree with you, but again, I think a lot of the problem with people having trouble programming them is, again, some of these radios you can't add a talk group from the keypad, right?
Yeah.
Like you can with the BTEC or the Anytone variants, and that makes it a million times easier. Some of these other ones you have to plug into the CPS, which is some software written in Chinese, and it makes it a million times worse than it needs to be.
So Vega's gonna do some poding with his 891. So make sure you post out where
That's awesome.
spot yourself, man. That is Jerica's love in ham radio. She'll play around with radio every now and then here and whatnot, but Poda is her thing. That's what she likes. Jim, the metal ends. Yeah, we got. Well, I bought this brand, and that's the thing is, I bought the same brand that I bought before, and yeah, I know, Mike. I bought fake power poles, but this
Mike wants to. He's going to want to cut the corner off of your YouTuber's punch card.
Yeah, it'll be okay. But it's one of those. I bought that brand before, and they were perfect, and so I bought the same ones again. I just went back into my Amazon and hit buy again, and these ones, man, I guess somebody sneezed in the machine or something over there and gave it the Rona because they're rough. I mean, they don't even connect up right sometimes, and it was entertaining.
But you need to be careful. There's tons of fakes and knockoffs and all that other stuff. And even, like I said, that this has the little A's on it. I'm sure some of the fake ones have the A's on there too.
Oh, they may, but I mean, I knew perfectly well it was knockoffs. Just like that Unused brand or something like that. It was
where you get like 20 sets for $6 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. I was like, well, I need them in a hurry, and they were cheap, and Amazon Prime, I had them the next day. So, of course, no, I wasted 4 or 5 of them today trying to get them to clip in and getting frustrated with them, but it'll be all right. So, let's see. We got a few more folks in here. Wham Bolt. Nice to meet you, Wham Bolt. Don't think I've seen you in here before, so welcome, welcome. Anybody else I missed?
Yep, welcome, Wham Bolt. I don't know if I've seen seen him either, or her.
I don't think I've missed anybody else in there. So, you got plans to travel over the holidays coming up? You gonna do anything fun and exciting?
I don't think so. I got about another week worth of vacation I got to burn for the end of the month, so probably just take some time, hang around the house, and I got to replace my antenna element out back. At some point I got to replace it, so I want to do that before it gets too dang on cold.
Oh man, it got cold all of a sudden this week. It's been nice. I mean, like I said, we just went camping last week. All of a sudden, it was like 19 degrees when I woke up the other morning. I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I left my left butt cheek in the driveway because it froze off.
Well, they said that yesterday, Tuesday, that it was there's a big old cold blast coming down through the Midwest. It's supposed to cool everybody down a little bit.
Well, it definitely cooled us off, I guess, Monday. Well, in fact, the picture I took of the coffee on the back of the truck today is there was still frost on the truck.
Oh, wow.
That was, after I'd driven the truck to work and whatnot. So it was frosty. Of course, I walked out to the truck. The one nice thing about the hybrid schedule is I don't have to drive the bus on Wednesday, so I get to actually drive my truck to work.
Nice. Looks like Wham Bolt just passed the test.
Sweet KC1 OGK. Congrats, brother. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Now time to grab that radio, unless you have one already. Have you already picked up a radio for that? Or if not, it's time to start shopping. 'Tis the season, bruh.
Yeah, speaking of that, and Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that stuff, I didn't see a whole lot of really compelling deals this time around.
I didn't either, but I haven't bought a bunch for myself as far as ham radio stuff anyway. It's
I wasn't, like I said, I already got that other radio. I wasn't really in the market to pick anything up, but I did look. I just wanted to see what's going on. I got a buddy of mine that is looking to pick up a new HF station for his house, and he's looking at a couple different radios. I tell him to get the 7300, or if you really want to spend some money, get the 7610. But I'm looking for a deal.
So, well, I mean, I don't know if it's still on, but they were having a rebate on that 7300 where it was like $1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it's $999.99. And I think when I got mine, I want to say I got it for $899 or maybe like $925, something like that. I'd still spend $1,000 on it. I mean, I love it, and it's awesome. So
well, it's one of those radios that, I wish that I had just bought one years ago when they first came out, because it was. I mean, when you start looking at it, in fact, my buddy today was like, his wife is going to study. This is Walter's mom, and his wife's studying for her test. He's like, I don't really care about picking up a microphone and talking. And I was like, well, we got digital modes we can do. And she goes, oh, if I can type, yeah, that's me. I'm there. But it's, he just bought the G90, and he's like, cool. Well, I can do that with the G90. Rather, well, we got to add a bit onto it to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I have a G90 and I'm a G90 enthusiast, but I always get surprised when, this guy's new, right? So it's a little bit more excusable. I always get surprised when seasoned folks are like, the G90 is just as good as the 7300.
No.
Like, come on, man. Well, there's nothing wrong with the G90. I love mine, but it's not the same type. It's not the same class of radio by any stretch of the imagination.
That 80 watts difference makes a difference too. So,
well, yeah, it does. But I mean, the filtering capabilities, the quality of the components, the size of the display. I mean, there's a lot that goes into the. I actually think that the 7300 is a better value than the G90.
So,
what I mean? Like,
ham radio dude, man, appreciate that. Thank you. 12/2. That would be the date.
I was gonna say, what is that today?
So, by default, I was instantly looking for a caliber, and I was like, I
Well,
don't.
him and To had an FT8 off.
I saw. Well, I hadn't had a chance to watch the video yet, but I followed the Zed discussion on it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who won. I don't know if they know who won that contest. Um, they're under recount, is my understanding.
Yeah, it's of course a lot of places are under recount right now. You better go ahead and start filing your lawsuits now.
Yeah, but they're doing round 2 tomorrow, I believe.
All right, so I guess that means if I'm going to watch the first round, I better watch it before tomorrow. I was planning on the weekend to catch up on videos I've missed this week because, I would have thought that with school going virtual and hybrid, I would have more time. But golly, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So,
Well, yeah, I've been a lot busier since I've been working from home because I don't my commute time. Everybody's like, I'll just call you in the morning. At 8 o'clock, and I'm like, come on, man. And then the other one is that everybody's like, well, you're at home, you're available. Like, I had Monday off, and my boss scheduled a 9 o'clock meeting with me on Monday.
like, no, I'm
So I got up, did the meeting, and he's talking to me about a couple of different stuff. I was like, well, I hope I can wait till tomorrow. I said, because I'm off today, bruh. It's on the calendar. I was kidding. I wasn't. But
Ham Radio Dude says Dominion System says he won. Yeah. Didn't you work for them? So.
Not me, HRD.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like he might have the inside scoop on that. So, but
he said, Wamble saying, I wonder why there weren't more all mode radios being used. Is there more you can do with a radio that is strictly for HF? I think the market's gotten really small for all mode radios. There's only a couple of them that are out there, right? The 705, the 991, and then maybe the Yaesu 857. Is that they don't even make that anymore?
No, the 857. I don't think so.
ICOM 7000, right? That's all band all mode.
Yeah, and that's not made anymore either. So
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know why there isn't more of them out there. Everybody says, well, radio that can do everything doesn't do one thing well, right? It does everything okay. But I know lots of people who have the 991A who swear by it. They love it.
I don't know. I've never messed.
Oh
with
yeah, the 818. Right. Good call, Don.
So, I've never messed with 2-meter sideband and whatnot. So.
Well, no, I haven't either. And I'm always like, yeah, that's right. I'm going to be able to do some 2-meter SSB with this radio.
Yeah, I'm looking for a box here somewhere that I've got. Somebody just called me out.
Yeah, 7100. That's what I meant. Radioactive. Yeah, thank you.
It's the 7100's over there, still in a box. I started playing with that a couple weeks ago, and that's a cool little radio. A lot of people,
they are cool.
A lot of people talk about that beveled.
I don't get why people complain about that. It just seems like the dumbest thing in the world.
It's when you look at it though, it's not meant to be looked at straight. It's in the box over there. I'd get it. Well, you wouldn't see it over this anyway, but I'll show you on the video that's coming out. But it's
supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Let me get my hand tilted a little bit like this, right?
And tilted forward is actually the
right.
When when it's installed in the vehicle, we're like, I'm going to have it down like in that cup holder thing. I'm gonna actually have it tilted forward, and it is. Even my old eyes can read it. It gets actually clearer when it tilts forward.
Right. Well, I can tell you, since I was playing around with the 705, and I know I sound like a fanboy, and I'll try not to, but it takes up so little space on my desk that I love it. Like my 7300 over here is a monster. That's not even a big radio. Like I feel like it takes up so much space on my desk. I could just have the 705 sitting here, and I can do the needful on it. So that 7100, it's the same thing, right? The head's detached 24/7. You can't even mount it on the body, right?
Yeah, and what I like about it is the mic jack is actually on the head as well. So, some radios you have to run a mic cable back to the actual main unit. But
K8MRD says Yaesu menus caused COVID.
It might have.
with that 7100, is there a way that you can get a pan adapter connected to it easily, or do you have to do like that SDR jump?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'll look into that. But
That'd be the only thing. A lot of people are like, I don't need no pan adapter. I'm not a scope head, and the pan adapter, waterfall, whatever you want to call it, spectrum display is awesome.
I literally just started playing with that. Well, I actually took it out of the box last week. A buddy of mine was thinking about buying one, and the day after it landed on my porch, I said, "Hey, I just got this. If you want to meet me at the park, I'll let you play, see how it works out."
Well, they're pretty reasonably priced too. They're like $700, something like that, right?
I think he paid like $745 or something like that. MTC had it on sale for like $745, and he did. He sat there and he played with it, and he just upgraded to general and made his first contact in some kid in New Mexico, I think. And
they're saying that you need an engineering degree to get through the menus on the 991, and I did take a pretty hard look at the 991A. And I watched a video, and the guy's like, well, first you got to go to menu 79. Then you want to go down to 71. And then after that, you want to go to 43, then 58.
Yeah, they've been that way forever, too, because I've got that It's Been Dead Forever 897 sitting right there. And the menus are the same way. It's like they make no logical sense at all. It's like,
well, I bought I have an 817 ND around here somewhere, and it's cool. But that was a mistake radio. I should have never bought it. Like the screen on it is like this big.
Yeah, that's it. I saw somebody locally was trying to sell one on Craigslist or something like that.
And I can't read the screen on it. And it's the same thing with the menus. There's like 3 different buttons, and then if you hit the shift button, the 3 different buttons become 2 different buttons. It's just if you use one radio and you use that radio every day, I'm sure that the menus are something that you can overcome. But if you have a couple of different radios and you play around with different stuff, and even with the G90, sometimes I'm sitting there like, oh, I can't remember how to do something. And that's a pretty simple radio.
And Radioactive's in there saying it's like Windows and Linux. So where does the Mac fall in there? Because Mike's in the chat, so you gotta make sure you have the Mac thing. But he says the 891 menus are just as bad. I don't know. I stopped buying Yaesu when I started building up a bunch of dead ones. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I looked pretty hard at the 891, but there seemed like there's some gaps there that I didn't feel like dealing with.
But so now we're hoping to go camping again. Back to what we're going to do over Christmas. We took a hard left turn there for a while.
Oh, you're going to do some Christmas POTA?
Well, yeah, we're thinking. It's Jerica's off for that 2 weeks, and and I'll hand it to her. She's handling her class load and whatnot and working and whatnot like a champ, but the ham radio is what has to give sometimes, and so she's off for those couple weeks. So we're hoping the weather is decent enough for at least a few days that we can head out somewhere and play some radio for a while, because
that'd be awesome.
She's itching to get to play with it, and I really wanted to turn on that 705 and see my call sign pop up, because I'm gonna film that.
You're gonna feel the fury if you do that when that happens.
Oh, I'll feel the fury, but it's gonna be on video, so it's gonna be hilarious. So, but
Kate Armady says he would like an ICOM to Mac iOS. It just works. And again, I don't want to come across as a fanboy. Like I want to be brand myopic, is what the folks say. But I love my 7300 so much that when the 705 came out, I wasn't even considering buying a radio like that. And then the more I learned about it, the more I saw, I was just like, man, this thing's like a little teeny 7300, and I had to get it. And I agree. There's the simplicity built in or designed in is fantastic.
So, Izzo's calling you out your Miller Lite with your Old English T-shirt.
I'll tell you what, when I wear this T-shirt out and about, I get stopped all the time. People are like, "Hey, man, hey, I used to drink that," and I get it all the time.
So, but yeah, other than that, that's kind of I don't think I have any other maybe go try to shoot some jerky. You know,
Yeah, I just we just made a bunch of jerky a couple days ago. I don't know if I mentioned on here. I get Butcher Box, which is awesome, and I get 2 roasts every month. And then so as soon as I get them, I start marinating them, and then make up about six or 8 pounds of jerky. Depends. Wambolt saying, do you think Wambolt saying if I'm asking if he's asking if the 705 is a better buy than the 991? I think they're two different radios
yeah,
with two different purposes.
yeah. You need to look and see what the 705 is designed for. You're getting at most 10 watts out of that dude, and it's a great radio, but for your first radio, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not so sure the 705 is it. I'd go with that 7300 and get that.
yeah. I'm not entirely on the bandwagon of first radio shouldn't be QRP because a lot of folks do get them and they're pretty good with it. Um, but I think I would say, you'd want 10 to 20 watts in a QRP. I don't even know what the definition for
I
QRP
think it's
is
five
anymore.
technically, but I don't
So
know.
my Baofeng at 3 watts is a QRP, my
Yeah.
QRP 2 meter.
So now one thing
But
I will. Oh, go ahead.
no, it's just like, when you go back and you look at QRP radios, like when there was like the 817, and those radios are a pain in the ass to use. Even if that radio was 100 watts, that teeny screen and the menuing and all that crap. Um, I don't know. Like my G90, I don't know if you would consider that a QRP radio, but you know, at 10 to 15 watts, I can get out pretty good with it. It's really more about your antenna system at that time, right?
Well, and I'll go ahead and tell you, depending what you want to do with it. For example, like if you're gonna go activate a park, if your main thing is POTA or SOTA or something like that, where you're gonna spot yourself and people are gonna come hunting you, that's
Right.
different.
Yeah,
That's
because great point. Great point.
because people are willing to stop and try to pull you out of the noise, whereas you may not be able to bust into a pile up hunting somebody on an activation, but you know they'll you can definitely get a bunch of contacts doing it that way. So it's just designed for something different. So
Yeah, and there's a reason there's mobile rigs, there's portable rigs, there's HTs, and then there's base station rigs, right?
so now Vega says he's not ready for QRP. I don't know if you've already got another rig. QRP's fun. I honestly I didn't know how much I would like it or not, but that it's kind of fun to like I said, we do a lot of POTA stuff, and it is fun to sit there with a little 5 watt 10 watt radio and have people try to pull you out of the noise. It's kind of cool. In fact, the first time Jericho used a 705 wasn't actually hers, it was actually Ray's, and we didn't even realize for the first 8 or 9 contacts she was running 5 watts SSB, and she got 8 or 9 contacts for it just that away. So
Yeah, it's crazy though. You also have to look at it from the new person's perspective, which I think sometimes I have a little bit of. I'm not expert level by any stretch, but the more experience you build, the better chances you'll have of being successful with QRP. So you make a good point about that.
yeah, and Izzo says QRP you're not going to bust a pile up, but sometimes though you just kind of hang loose and wait. It depends on what you enjoy doing. I mean, I don't mind sitting there for a little bit waiting for a pile up to die down to where I get a shot to try to get in there. So
Yeah.
it all depends on what you enjoy and what you want radio to be for you. So
Yeah, if you're going to be like a digital mode operator, 705 is probably pretty nice for that. Right, it's got a built-in GPS. If you want to take it portable, it's one
yeah,
cable solution. I do mostly digital, and that was the big compelling reason for me to buy it. When I would look at the difference between that and the G90 from ease of setup, it became really a no-brainer
yeah. Last time you were on here,
equation.
you described your your spiderweb mess of cables with your Raspberry Pi and everything. So
Right, right.
so it's doable, but don't expect it to be party. But
Clark says, how often do you use 2 meters at 70 centimeters? Um, when I'm driving, when I'm commuting to work, I check in or listen into the local repeaters every day.
yeah, and I've started using 2 meters quite a bit. It's radio kind of in my area. How would I want to say it's died down, but for several years, I think it just got stagnant.
Mm.
And when we started getting some new folks on the air, and we've had our club has tested 35 people in the last year or so, which for a town our size, that's a significant number. I mean, we've probably more than doubled our ham population,
That's great.
and it's starting to pick back up, and people are starting to get on the air. In fact, my mother-in-law, excuse me, we just got an antenna and stuff put up on her house. She just got licensed, and she stole my trusty ICOM 2100. So, but we she sits there and leaves it on simplex half the time just because it's one of those things that nobody's ever on simplex anymore. But now, my wife Cindy, she'll talk to her on simplex driving in the car, kind of thing. And
Well, it's funny because like I was doing some videos on some HTs.
you muted, but
I accidentally hit my space bar. I was doing some testing on some HTs, and I was using 14652, which I know I'm not supposed to do, but I was doing it anyway. And I'm like, this is the ape testing, whatever. And some guy came back.
K58.
Yeah, some guy came back and sassed me for using the band. And I'm like, bro, I was like, I have got a 2-meter rig on my desk that's on all day on 5.2, and it has been for I don't know 5 years. I was like, I never hear anything on it. So I was like, I don't get me grief about it.
Yeah, and in fact, it's funny because the same sort of thing kind of happened when the day we actually installed on Thanksgiving Day, we installed an antenna and the radio and whatnot into her house, and when we were leaving that evening, it was on 14652, and Cindy's in the passenger seat and she's talking to her, and we're curious to see how far she can actually talk on it. And some dude busts in there. He's like, y'all, there's traffic on simplex and y'all are not identifying. And it's like, well, actually, yeah, they identified when they started, and then they don't have to do it for another 10 minutes. Technically, they don't have to do it when they start. It's every 10 minutes of talk time.
Right, just check the rule book, son.
And so it's like, I got on there and I kind of said, no, sorry, bud. They're good. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
and one day I was on 5.2, and I heard some guy who built a Yagi, and he went to a higher spot here in town. And he was on there, and he's like, "This is so and so testing my new handmade Yagi," and so I talked to him for a couple minutes on there, which was pretty cool. I was like, "I'm gonna make one and go up there and hang out with you."
yeah, Jim says the same thing. He calls CQ on 5.2 most of the time. I mean, I leave it on every road trip I take. One side of it's always on 5.2, and
yeah, I usually call on it a couple times, like when I'm commuting. I'll get on and be like, shepherd the lost sheep, or
all right, who actually gets the reference? Who gets the reference?
Something like that, but nothing on it. Which that's what we should do. The YouTubers bunch should bring 5.2 back. We should.
I mean, I enjoy 5.2. There's nothing. Now granted, I was actually surprised that this other dude was listening to 5.2. That was the other shock, is he actually leaves it on there. So, all these people sit there and they leave it on monitoring it, but they never talk on it. So,
right.
Andy apparently blew up his 7100 and he's trying to find a cheap one. So, like I said, I don't know what you define as cheap, but MTC had it for $745 or something like that.
Well, I tell people, they always say that they try to get on the repeater, and they'll say like, asking for a radio check. I'm trying to get a radio check. Everybody's like, it's not a radio check, boy. It's a signal report. The other one, I always tell them, I was like, go in there and call CQ. Because a lot of times people say that nobody will respond to them. I was like, if you do that, somebody's going to respond.
And
they'll respond quick.
Oh, Radioactive saying, just get on there and say, looks like we got us a convoy. That's an old one. But let's see. Wambo right now just have a thing, and if we're looking for something more permanent thing. Yeah, he's looking at ASUS because it came in a box with a fan, whatever. But there you go. T.O. got that one too. So
what do you say? The Dukes?
No, well, he said the Dukes, but he caught the Convoy one also. That's an old movie right there. It's like 78 or something like that. It's probably older than you are, Ape.
Yeah. I was born in 93.
You look it. So, but yeah, so I reckon that's about it. Anybody in the chat? What are y'all doing for Christmas? Anybody going to go do any poding or anything like that? Because
or did anybody get any cool stuff?
yeah, we asked the question. I didn't see if anybody answered that or not, but I didn't notice anybody saying, "Yeah, I got this, that, and the other." So, Anime has a copy of Convoy on VHS. That's awesome. Or maybe
That's great.
but yeah, that's like I said. I didn't pick up a bunch of stuff for Black Friday, but
Yeah, I just got myself that tablet, and the boss over there wanted the Soda Stream, so I got her that. She's been asking for one for a while.
I think you
and
got the better end of the deal.
One of her friends sent her, oh, the Soda Stream's on Black Friday, and so I got painted into a corner quick. I didn't have much option.
Yeah, you couldn't really say anything. I mean, you got a $500 tablet, so give her the Soda Stream and tell her just
She doesn't know it's a $500 tablet.
go make you some Mountain Dew. But
right now, I came clean about the tablet. I told her, I said, look, I don't want to hear any mess.
when you see the checking account, what happened was,
yeah, she does all the finance stuff, like does the bills and all that. Like I had to call one day to get access to something, and they were like, "Can you tell us how much your mortgage payment is?" I was like, "No." And they're like, "Well, can you tell us, how much this is?" I'm like, "No, I don't know any of that.
I
stuff."
just live there. I mean, I live
they're
there.
like, "Well, how do we know it's you?" And I'm like, "I'm telling you, it's me. Who else would I be if it wasn't me?"
Who else claims to be the ape?
Right, right.
Yeah, Izzo just said he got that Eskimo shelter, and he
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, he tweeted out a picture of it, and that's a cool looking little dude. I mean, Izzo. If you're in the chat and you don't know Izzo, he is dedicated to his POTA, man. We finally got a park to park contact with the Izzo. I think it might have been at this last when we were in Tennessee. I don't remember, but he is. How many kilo awards has he gotten? He's gotten a few. But
So you were working POTA at some point, and I was on a live stream. I don't even remember which one it was. It was like 2 weeks ago. I think it was with Theo. I can't remember, but I was able to pick you up. Didn't have a real good signal on you, but we got you in the video anyway.
yeah, I can get. I hear him pretty often. Getting him to hear me going back sometimes can be a challenge. But then this last activation, we ended up with all of a sudden about 9:30 in the morning. Belgium starts popping in, and Italy and Germany. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been getting really good FT8 across the pond last couple days.
So he needs 189 contacts for his 4th kilo award. So, well, I can get a few people for you, but
yeah, I don't know what that means, but it sounds impressive.
well, kilos like 1,000. So I think
that's like a European 1,000, right?
And I think that isn't that per park, so it's 1,000 in a park. So
yeah, I think so.
I think my best park right now is, I don't know, 650 or 700 or something like that. So it's generally if I don't do my operating when Jerica's still asleep, then I don't get the contacts.
So we got John is asking, what antenna do you guys recommend for POTA with a 705? I would go with a NFET half wave and resonant on whatever frequencies you want to use. Most likely do a 40 will get you 40 meters, 20, 10, and 15.
So yeah, I've got that alpha. There you go. Jim just ordered that. Dude, you are going to love that alpha antenna FMJ. So, and it's not a cheap antenna, but dude, that thing is a tank. And that's, like you said, it's not exactly small, but it's portable, and it deploys in no time. But that antenna is, I mean, it's amazing. That's what I use at school with the Padawans. And in fact, I'm gonna have to train somebody else to set it up, because Elbow Boy is the one that was my setter upper for the antenna. So since
it depends too, right? Like go ahead about the Elbow Kid.
Well, no, I was just gonna say he was the one that was in charge or tasked with setup and takedown of that antenna, and I don't guess I can ask him. I may ask him tomorrow to set it up anyway, just to see what he says.
I was gonna say it depends on what you're gonna do with that 705 too. Like I'm assuming you said POTA and you're gonna take it out, so you want something that's easy to set up quick. I really want to get my hands on that. It's a 20-meter whip that MFJ makes, um, and he says he left a bunch of soda POTAs
Yeah,
for
dude, I
getting
haven't
the
even.
test.
I ran in the house. I haven't even cracked the case on those yet. But yeah, he left me some stuff to look at and play with. So
But I want to try that 20 meter whip because if you're out during the day, 20 meters is probably going to be your best bet. Where we are in a solar cycle right now to get the most range that you can get. I mean, you could get closer contact with 40, but during the day, you're not really going to get any kind of good propagation off of that. Now, I'm sure somebody's going to come along and be like, Ape's full of crap. You don't know what he's talking about.
yeah, well, I mean, you drink crap beer, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I would think about that. Or the Wolf River Coils antennas um, seem to be pretty popular option too, right?
so Radioactive says fishing pole and a wire. You get Alaska. I've actually gotten Alaska the last 2 or 3 activations.
You have.
So, yeah, it's
You rotten scoundrel.
which is kind of funny. It's in fact I was getting north and south, all those places that are like impossible to get. Sometimes I've been hammering those. But
Well, I
never
get
hear Oregon
Rhode
or anything
Island.
like that.
I get Rhode Island all the time, but they don't log it. I'm not. I mentioned on here before. I don't really chase any of the contest stuff or the awards or any of that, so I don't worry about it too much. But I've never gotten Alaska or Hawaii, and that's something that burns me up.
So I got Hawaii. It's been a few years back when the bands weren't dead.
Ray
But
saying that 10 meters has been smoking lately. It's funny because the other day I was like, I want to try 10. I've heard it's been doing really well, and I got a guy who was like 15 miles down the road. So I was
I didn't know you had a neighbor that close in Nebraska.
yeah, well, he's the closest one.
Okay.
But I got that, and then I got another one at like 800 miles, something like that.
But yeah, that Mike said that somebody in his club's got that alpha antenna, and it is and it's actually light considering the size of it. Honestly, they call it the alpha match, and it's the little,
Yeah.
I don't know where that thing is, but
Well, we're on the subject, and Ray's here to witness it. He didn't mention anything about that antenna box earlier. Just for the record.
that antenna box. Oh, what he left me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's. I don't think I even had time to bring it in from the truck. I was bringing radios and other stuff in. I mean, I literally pulled up. Whenever I sent you that message on Discord, I think I had like 19 minutes.
You seem more concerned about the coffee than
Well,
anything
yeah,
else.
the coffee's. I can't do a stream of that, and it's. I mean, the last cup of coffee I had was at 2. I guess I finished it at 2:30, and I walked in the door here at like 6:38 or something like that. It was. That's been a minute for me to go without coffee. So, but it's this.
Yeah, I get. You're hooked on the caffeine pretty bad, I guess.
No.
Like no.
Not at all. Although I don't have it in here. Those Myo Energy things. I was sitting there
Yeah.
chugging this fruit punch stuff that my wife was making me,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, this is good. What is this stuff?" And she goes, "Oh, it's whatever that box is in there." And I looked at it. It's like caffeine. I was like, oh, "That's why.
Yeah,
That's why I like it."
we got that. And I'm like, squirting it in there because I definitely am hooked. That's why I drink Mountain Dew. It's got the most caffeine of any soda.
Yeah, I mean,
Plus, I'm white trash. That's what we do. We drink Mountain Dew, right?
I mean, it's
And,
like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm chugging these Myos. I'm like, man, this is good stuff.
right, be like, I'm doing just fine over here.
Yeah, it's like trying to solder and stuff later. Not really, but yeah, it's a bunch of chameleon antennas in there. So,
Oh yeah, great. That's awesome.
That's
I've got the Chameleon MCOM 3, and it's pretty nice antenna. I like that.
so, and I might have accidentally left with one of his radios too. That I'm assuming he's gonna want back, but I'm gonna show it off to the mother-in-law and see if she'll grab that dude. I'm show that. I showed you before we started, but this is
Right.
that 4100. Ooh, can you see that? Which it's actually pretty small,
cool.
but this is the cool part of that. Look at the size of that head unit. I mean, you can fit.
Yeah,
that.
like I was saying, I was looking to get that for inside of my Jeep because there's like the Jeep is so tight fitting when you're in there. there's not a lot of space for a lot of radio equipment, so something like that is perfect for that.
Yeah, and that thing is, when he had that thing out, and I was like, okay, that thing is when you hold it up to the 5100, and I took a picture of it next to it. It's like a fraction of the size of it, and that's a pretty sweet little.
Well, that 5100, the screen on that is impressive. It's monster size.
Well, and it needs to be for people like me because I can't see, and
coffee's eroding the lens off your eye.
It must be because, dude, I mean, it's getting worse, and I can't bring myself to wear those progressive things. I feel like I need to vomit every time I wear them.
You get dizzy or something.
So,
I just have readers that.
Well, that's all I wear are readers, but I can see fine from a distance. But man, I try to look down on my phone or something like that. It's like, so yeah. If you ever send me a message that I answer some gobbledygook, that's because I have no idea what I just said.
Well, somebody will text me in the middle of the night, like work or something like that, and I look at my phone and I can't read it. It probably takes a good 10 minutes for my eyes to warm up. I must have tubes in there.
But oh man, we are over our hour. Is Sterling not? He's not going to that. I don't think.
No,
so I was gonna feel bad because I was like, man, we stepped on him once too.
No,
So,
he needs to get back after it though.
So yeah, this little 4100 though, and I'm gonna show this to Mama. So Mama, if you're watching, I think it's HRO has this. I think the Black Friday sale is still good. It's like $289, I think, like that, something like that.
That's pretty good. That's dual band 50-watt D-Star, right?
Yeah, and GPS built in. I mean, it's a cool little dude. So, and her eyes are better than mine. She's like 20, 30 years older than me, and her eyes are better than mine. But that would be.
Yeah, she must eat her carrots.
Yeah, I eat carrots too, but she doesn't drink coffee like I do. You can see through her coffee. So, but yep, I reckon that's about it, man. We kind of went over a minute, but it's
I'm all right with that. Thanks for having me, and thanks to everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank y'all for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure you head over to the Ape channel and sub him, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit me. Oh, hang on, somebody's asking. Anime, you asking me if I have a store set up? I do have an Amazon store set up. If you hit down,
but he's looking at a coffee shop. He's going to set up a coffee shop too.
I would love to set up a coffee shop, but I would drink my profits away. I mean,
right.
It would be. I left Kroger this morning with 3 things of coffee, and it took serious effort not to crack those open before tonight. I mean, it was.
That's so funny.
I'm serious. It was like I was just aching to try that stuff, and I held out. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that I didn't act stupid or anything with this stuff. So it's not. Maybe I need to put more in the filter. I don't know if I can get much more in there to see if it kicks me hard or anything. But
maybe hotter water or something like that.
I don't know that it gets any hotter than that boil. But I would put the link for the radio there. I'll do that. I'll if you give me a few minutes after or if somebody can grab that link and post it in the chat real quick for HRO. If not Anime, I'll post it in the description below. But if you just go to ham radio outlet, hamradio.com, and type ICOM 4100, I'm sure it'll pop right up. And I'm anxious to try this thing out. Jim, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. So I reckon that's it, man. So
well, cool, man.
Cool, y'all. Thanks
all
for
right,
being
folks.
here. And
just talk to you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
I'll talk to you next week. Ape doesn't get to come back. He needs a week off to recoup.
Need a break. Come up for